Hey guys, this is David from I Am Vanguard here with the discussion video of Bushiroad tournaments. So I know that it's kind of weird that I'm talking about this topic. I know that I haven't been filming, but I actually been participating a lot more tournaments, and I feel like that kind of took away a lot of my time to film. And after thinking for a while, I'm like, oh wow, okay, so this is how I feel about tournaments. Because I've been hosting some myself. I've been participating a lot, so. Um, Participating in previous tournaments, I've been participating in Dynasty, a little bit of ARGs, and then um, some regionals. But mostly Dynasty Cups is the main thing I've been participating because it's a locally hosted tournament. Kind of like ARG, but a lot smaller, of course, because it's run by the community. So my inputs on participating in these tournaments, I feel like that the Dynasty has gotten a lot better with their hosting, so I definitely feel a lot entertained when I go to Dynasty Cups, because now they've been locating in a bit more other locations. They've been branching out to Philadelphia to host tournaments, so I feel like that's something new. It gives us a new eye of players. Like, it's like, oh wow, this guy's actually good. I didn't know he existed, because we got to drive out there and participate in tournaments in other locations. So that was one of the things. And then ARGs, of course, is hosted everywhere. They have their own nationals and such for Vanguard. So ARG is pretty well known. Their press support's okay. Don't really know if I necessarily like how they run their tournaments, but other than that, I mean, ARG is pretty standard. And then of course, the main topic is Bushiroad tournaments. Don't know if I've been liking how Bushiroad's tournament's been changing year after year. The team tournament was kind of okay from my opinion because it was more entertainment. It kind of made best of one, best 2 out of 3. So I feel like that was very nice. It was a nice kind of tournament that the Bushiroad had was best 2 out of 3 ish format was the teams, and then of course there's single tournaments, best of ones. And then it changes to best 2 out of 3 in day 2. So I feel like that these are one of the few things that I see that Bushiroad tries to improve, but they always take something away when they improve something. So this is like one of the few things that I did want to talk about personally. The main topic we'll go on to the best of one, best 2 out of 3. I know this has been a complaint for what I've been playing 6 years, like 5 years ish. The main topic that's been going on is why that Bushiroad does best of ones. And I feel like that after going to a few Bushiroad tournaments, I realized that, they're getting chased on time. Yes, that is the answer. They're basically getting chased on time for, renting the space, the hotel space, and they have 2-3 other games to host on day 2. So that's the reason why that their tournament was best of 1, to make the games proceed a lot faster, because best of 1 is definitely a lot quicker than best 2 out of 3, because best 2 out of 3 you go into time, there's you get a few minutes in time, and then it's game. So that's like 45, well, if they do best of 1, it's like 25 to 30 minutes. Extra time is like 45 minutes, which could have been best 2 out of 3, right, from our perspective. But the problem is that if they did best 2 out of 3, it would have been like 45 minutes. I'm pretty sure there's always going to be people that are playing the slower decks, because every tournament has them, Angel Feather players or Chaos players or any decks that constantly stall. There's always those type of players, and of course, if there's extended time, it's gonna be 10 to 15 minutes, so that's like 55 minutes per round. They usually do 7 rounds, so that's like what, almost like 7 hours. And of course, like in between the hours, they have they do matchings, they check the list of if they properly reported and such, so that's like another 20 minutes, or like 10 to 20 minutes extra, so that's like more than 7 hours. And then this is like in before they go into top 8. So, and then of course top 8 has their own best 2 out of 3 going on, such and such, and they do play it out. They don't do splits. So I feel like that this is the reason why that Bushiroad is always in a rush to do best of ones in day 1 now, because they're trying to speed up the process, which I definitely agree, because I mean, all their labor isn't free. They pay for it. The hotel isn't free. the promos that they give us out isn't really free as well. So I mean, I feel like that. I kind of understand after participating years and years of their tournaments, like, oh, okay, this is why they do best of one. Where they also have a lot of players. Like they have like 200 to 300 players participating in Bushiroad tournaments because they're free, and it's hosted by the main company that made the card game. Where this comes where the other format where best 2 out of 3 is possible in ARGs and Dynasty Cups or Vanguard tournaments because of the fact that they have a lot smaller numbers, so it's definitely easier best 2 out of 3. Plus, like, they only need one judge to judge like 40 to 50 players because, they can keep their eyes on like 40, 50 players, and there's the host. So, I mean, there's like 2 people running around in tournaments. So it's much easier to host a smaller tournament for best 2 out of 3. And this is where my second topic comes in, is sideboarding. Why Bushiroad doesn't do sideboarding, which completely understandable because if they're doing best of one, sideboarding is impossible because one shot, one call. Like that's one game, that's it. So I mean, definitely I feel like that's the reason why that Bushiroad won't do sideboarding for Vanguard. Which and then I'm pretty sure someone might say, well, how come ARGs and Dynasties or other Team Absolution tournaments don't do sideboarding? It's because the game wasn't made to do sideboarding. Well, I guess I can say not yet. The game hasn't improved enough or hasn't slowed down enough to do sideboarding. And like I said, the game is already time consuming because, like I said, there's always players that play these long stall decks, and we can't really tell them not to play it because we're trying to do sideboarding. I mean, that's how the game is and that's how the game was. So I mean, that's something that we have to deal with. And of course in the future, hopefully if the game improves a lot more, they figure out a lot of things and they tweak it. Hopefully sideboarding will be a thing, but most likely I don't really think that Bushiroad will have Vanguard do sideboarding. I know another question that might pop up is, well, why did they make crit elementals? I feel like that crit elementals were more like a thing where you can run it in every deck. It's gonna be like that one counter fit to other decks, like the I know a lot of people call it the Rock, the card that Soul Blast, and for every G zone you have crit elementals, you can unlock a board. I mean those kind of cards are actually very helpful because it counters a lot of decks. I mean it counters Link Joker for sure, and it gives other decks opportunity to win. And I feel like that those are like the stuff that Bushiroad is slowly developing to sideboard, but more like a tech choice. So that's kind of it for sideboarding, honestly. And this is like where my main grudge comes in with Bushiroad is not the best out of one, not the sideboarding. It's more frequent tournaments, more locations. And I feel like that every year Bushiroad's been kind of shrinking the amount of tournaments that they host because they used to have Chicago, but now they don't even have Chicago anymore. So I feel like that I'm kind of disappointed that they're kind of minimizing, even though that I feel like that as a company they should be expanding where they're locating their card games. So that was something that I had in mind, and I feel like that the more and more that they shrink the amount of tournaments that they do, the less interest that the players get. Because I feel like the more frequently that they issue tournaments and of course some incentive in the tournaments, that the more players will try to participate. Because I mean that's how players are. I mean they want something out of the card games that they play because everyone's slightly a little bit competitive in the inside. So I feel like that if they decide to host more tournaments, I think that will get a lot more players back in the game. So hopefully that's something that Bushiroad will consider in the future. And then kind of going on to the similar topic is, will Bushiroad ever support shop qualifiers or support more locals? I feel like that the less and less that they support the stores is more bad for their business because they need to have product or people selling their products. But if less people are selling their products, I mean, how are they going to get money back, or how they're going to keep their game stable? So I mean, this is something that I feel like that another thing that Bushiroad can highly consider is hosting more tournaments, having more shop qualifiers, and get a lot of more people involved in tournament scenes. So And this is like only the few things that I had in mind. These were all like fastly rough draft, as you see. I wrote down everything and just kind of went through, breezed it through. But yeah, make sure that if you guys have any inputs or on tournament scenes and such, make sure you guys comment, rate, subscribe down below. And of course that I've been more frequent or more active on Facebook. So make sure that you guys can always comment on my Facebook page. Even comment down in the channel. I'm always looking at my channel. So you guys are welcome to give me more video topics and such. And try to wrap up a little bit. Yeah, but like I said, make sure you guys support your locals as best as you can. Make sure you guys are welcoming your players, and I feel like that we can keep up, and maybe hopefully Bushiroad will improve their tournaments in the future. But like always, guys, make sure you guys comment, rate, subscribe down below, and if you have any more topics for me or deck profiles that you want, make sure you guys comment also down somewhere there or on my Facebook page. So like always, guys, imagine the victory. I am Vanguard. Make sure you guys watch one of my previous videos on the left and the right. And of course, subscribe to I Am Vanguard. Thanks for watching, guys.